Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's live stream. My name is Gina. My spiritual name is Lakshmi. Some of you may know. And today we are with the director of Nabu Botanicals, Beth DesMarais. She's also been a longtime student of Dr. Pillai and is one of our teachers. She also instructs and guides phonemic intelligence. So today we're going to talk about turmeric, why this divine substance is used in so many rituals in India. Dr. Pillai talks about how it has divine qualities, why we should ingest it, use it for our meditations. So we're going to unpack a lot of that today and help you understand and to use this divine tool that we have access to. So first, Beth, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Awesome to be here. Thank you, Gina, Lakshmi.
Sure. And so first, tell us a little bit about turmeric and its health benefits. We're going to talk about the physical as well as the spiritual. But first, let's talk about just the health of the body benefits.
What the body benefits are. I think the best way to kind of tell the turmeric story is understanding, just sort of East and West concepts of the plant kingdom. And the plant kingdom is incredibly misunderstood by the West. And the fact that we see plants as just there, when I say we, I'm sitting here in the West, we see plants, out there and we sort of take them for granted, but we don't see them as the physical manifestation of the goddess like they are. And I would like to talk more about from the spiritual perspective than the botanist perspective. I'm not a botanist, although I've researched a lot. But Dr. Pillai has been basically has taught me quite a bit about sort of the Siddha lineage and how turmeric got its extraordinary reverence. And it's revered by both the scientific and the religious community, which is there's no other herb. Honestly, there's no other spice. If you call it an herb or a spice, it's the same thing. But there's no other herb that has this status. It is literally number one. So its health, there's one that really kind of jumps out at me. One of the big health benefits. Of course, we all know it's an anti-cancer. That's all over the place. It's an antioxidant. It's an anti-inflammatory. It helps with dementia, which is the prelude oftentimes to Alzheimer's. Diabetes, it's been known to cure diabetes, and there's just, it goes on and on and on, heart attack, basically, cardiovascular health, all of that. There's one that really stands out for me, and it's because it's so extraordinary, and that is that there's this term in the neuroscience world. I'm also not a neuroscientist, but there's a term called neurogenesis. And neurogenesis essentially means that it grows new neurons, that that you can actually grow new brain cells that are neurons, which are conductors of our cognition, of our emotions, of our attitudes. And it's not something that, I don't even know if they found a drug, like a physical chemical drug that will do this, but turmeric will do it. Turmeric, and the fantastic, interesting place where it does it is it does it in the brain stem. So it's literally like the stem cell for neurons, and it will grow new. Turmeric has been proven to show that it has neurogenesis properties, meaning it will grow new brain stem cells. And that part of the brain is really important. It's like the central nervous system. It's also the part that we start to conceive our dreams and our manifestations. So it's not that outrageous that they find turmeric creating new brain cells, new life there in the brainstem, neurogenesis.
That's fascinating. That's amazing. So, so tell us a little bit more about the Siddha lineage. You were talking a little bit about that. Is there more we can know or understand of how the ancient use of this herb can be brought into modern day benefits and allow us benefits?
Yeah, definitely. So according to Dr. Pillai, who's, guided me and showed me some of these things, of course, it's probably the tip of the iceberg compared to what he knows, I'm sure. And, he's brought me to these caves these Siddha caves in the mountainsides. I visited authentic Siddha medicine masters who also have attained certain levels of enlightenment too. And he's introduced, he invited me along to his pilgrimages to have that experience. And so the Siddhas, it's under debate when they lived, 6,000, 5,000 years ago. The interesting thing about the Siddhas is they could see what we cannot. So they would see the unseen. They would see, due to their enlightened states and super normal abilities in their bodies, they could see a plant and they could see the goddess in the plant, the spirit in the plant. And the notion is that, again, in the West, we don't have this concept, but these are not from the earth plane. Plants are not from the earth plane, and particularly turmeric is not from the earth plane. Turmeric is from Mars. And that's Dr. Pillai has mentioned that. It's also been backed up in several Tamil Siddha literatures. So when they see a plant, they would immediately see the essence of the plant. And then the plant would speak to them. It wasn't just they'd see it and then go and trial and fail like we do for different kind of herbal concoctions to see what you can get out of it. They knew immediately what the plant will do, because the plant spirit talked to the Siddha, and the Siddha then knew. And then they documented it. In Siddha medicine, developed by the Siddhas, is actually the original form of medicine on the earth plane. Some people think it's Chinese medicine, but Siddha medicine, actually, Siddha Ayurveda medicine, predates Chinese medicine. And it's really because these amazing beings, these Siddha masters, really could go out and find the spirit of these plants. So literally the turmeric plant would say, hey, this is what I'm good for. And not only this is what I'm good for, this is the part of me that will do that. So in the turmeric, it's the rhizome. It's that hidden root that's so beautiful, has that gold color. It's literally like gold, and it's treated somewhat like gold in India. So the plant would speak to them and say, okay, this is the part of me that really is most therapeutic, has the most therapeutic action for this, this, and this. And it also would tell the Siddha how to make it, how to prepare it. We all know in turmeric, it's curcumin. So curcumin is the big active biochemical in turmeric. And where you find the most curcumin is a Siddha secret. So when they go digging for turmeric, someone who really knows about this, who has been passed on from the Siddha lineage, which is also written in many, many nadi leaves. They have nadi leaves about the medicine nature of plants, all in certain places of India, and they're very sacred and hidden in secret. So they would go and they tell you exactly how to extract the root that has the most curcumin that will heal you the most. And it is that molecule within turmeric. But you can't just take that curcumin out and say, okay, I got it. This is it. I've got every therapeutic action. It's not true. You actually need the whole plant. It all works synergistically. And the Siddhas knew that, and they knew how to formulate it.
Wow. Okay. So for folks who are just joining us or kind of new to this, it might be easier to imagine that everything's made of energy. And Dr. Pillai really talks about how everything is sound waves. And if we are not so distracted by our senses and the environment, and thousands of years ago, the Siddhas didn't have quite as many distractions, you can more easily tune in to the energy, the sound waves, the vibration of anything, including the plants, and then you be able to have some form of communication. So for some folks, it might be easier to think of it that way, in terms of everyone has the ability to connect, to hear. It's just a matter of how much we go into our inner silent self to be able to hear and communicate. And the Siddhas were experts at that. So it's no surprise there that they were actually communicating with different species. So next question is, how is the herb associated with the goddess? In India, we see the turmeric is tied around the neck of some of the deities. It's used in hydration ceremonies. It's packed on top of them. It's used to create a little Ganesha. It's used in so many different ways. Why and how is there an association with this substance to divine and the uses in the Vedas, in the Vedic tradition?
Right. So the Vedic, yeah, that's a really good question. And I think how it earned its notoriety is, I think, a bit of a mystery. But of course, if you look at it, it's very unusual. There's no other herb that looks gold, like gold, is golden colored. So when they first started working with it, and they could see all the different uses of it, there's basically about 600 therapeutic actions that have been documented of turmeric. And those therapeutic actions, it sort of seems to point, and maybe this is where how it got its reverence, seems to point to the fact that it really bestows upon the person who's taking it to be an incredible protection from a protector from common health problems that we get. So, like the ones I mentioned, basically the health problems that are brought about through um, life, but brought about just kind of chronic health problems. So it does seem to bestow upon the person who's taking it to be not only a protector, but perhaps it's also thought of as the embodiment of compassion. So I really feel, I don't know for sure, but it's also, it's thought of as the golden goddess. It's thought of as the physical manifestation of mother divine. These are all the ways people refer to it. It's thought of to be very, very auspicious. It's used in ceremonies, as you said, Vedic ceremonies, for hydration. It's also used for if a woman in a village doesn't have the money to buy a necklace, a wedding necklace, they can just use a turmeric root. It's used in meditation. It's used where people will hold, and Dr. Pillai's guided a couple, two or three different meditations on how to hold turmeric and have it not only just heal your body, but heal your mind and soul as well. It has that impact, the auric quality, as Lakshmi, as you just said, about the sound waves. The waves of turmeric are so powerful that it extends beyond the ability to just heal the body. It can heal the soul. It can change your auric vibration. It can heal the mind, which I had already talked about, or the brain I talked about, when the brain is basically the receptor for all of our thoughts. So it's worshipped. It's
Yeah.
worshipped there.
Yeah, that's great. And that leads me to, what you had mentioned, Dr. Pillai has given different techniques and meditations. And I've been in the room where he had us like hold turmeric in our hands and do a Shreem Brzee meditation, or tell us to hold turmeric and it'll remove your negativity. So if you have a root at home, you can do that. So that leads us into the next question, which is how do we use turmeric to more enhance our Shreem Brzee practice?
Right. So turmeric, you will find, and you just reminded me, turmeric is in all the temples too, mounds of it sometimes in front of the goddess. Because the goddess literally, the statue, the archetype, will literally eat this. It's considered to be food for the goddess, the turmeric. And sometimes it's as a paste, sometimes it's as a powder, and a lot of times they'll put a big chunk of it right on her hand. And then, lucky be the soul who the priest goes in and pulls that turmeric off her hand and then gives it to that person who's worshiping. Lucky be that person, because you basically then you take it and you ingest the embodiment of the goddess. So we can use it in different ways. Like I started saying, plants are misunderstood here. But if you connect to this plant, particularly Nambu herbs has certain activation, esoteric and mystical procedures that we do to the plants, or we do to the actual herb, so that it keeps the energy alive. And in that plant, even though it's long been harvested and encapsulated and gone through the manufacturing process, but there's certain ways you can do it. And of course, Dr. Pillai has blessed these herbs, and his blessings are, as you mentioned before, it's quantum mechanics. It's a wave, and that wave will bring out the energy, the actual healing energy. So the best way to use, particularly Nabu Botanicals herbs, or if you even get your own turmeric, you can place Shreem Brzee over it for, a few days nonstop and take it. If you like to take Nabu Botanicals herbs, we just suggest that you chant Shreem Brzee, because that's the name of the product. You chant Shreem Brzee at least 3 times, and you hold it in the palm of your hand. So there's lots of energy in the palm of your hand. It's your chakras. And then if you put the capsule there and you just sincerely pray for what you want and try and connect to the goddess of turmeric, which is the divine mother goddess, and then you'll receive a lot more benefit from the herb than just throwing it down, drinking down a glass of water. You'll get that, you'll get the mind, body, soul benefit. It's just like anything. When you extend your consciousness to connect, then miracles can happen.
Fantastic. Yeah, I love taking Shreem Brzee formula. It just makes me feel good. I can't say if anything elaborate happens every single time, but I have a like I'm attracted towards it. And then I'm attracted towards taking it certain times of the day. And overall I feel healthy when I take it. And I feel that I can tune in more to the Shreem Brzee goddess, to the mantra, when I'm ingesting it, when I'm taking it. In fact, Dr. Pillai said, this is how you get Shreem Brzee into your blood. He did a whole video on getting the mantra, the Shreem Brzee, into your body, into your blood by taking the capsules. And so meditating, chanting with them, and then taking them. That's one way. And then, as I mentioned before, Dr. Pillai said, if you get turmeric root, you can also hold those in your hands and do the meditation. You're not ingesting that, so it's different, folks. You can actually do both. You can get the Nabu Botanical herbs and use that when do a quick chant over it and then take it in. And you can also hold the turmeric in your hand, 1 or 2, whatever you receive, the root, and do your meditations like that. So there's a few ways you can enhance your Shreem Brzee practice. Another way is if you get the root, you can offer it to Lakshmi. If you have a Shreem Brzee statue or Shreem Brzee yantra, you can offer it to her, the root or even the powder. We sometimes cover the statues with turmeric powder when we're doing our own rituals. In fact, on the email that went out today, you'll see a little tiny Lakshmi statue covered in turmeric, and that was part of the ritual, the ceremony that we did. It's giving the yantra, the statue, the actual turmeric. So you can use this in your practice. In that case, you don't want to like empty out your turmeric, your Nabu Botanical pills. You want to get like a bag of regular turmeric. You can use that in your rituals. Another way is to mix some water with turmeric and then pour it over your statue or yantra. So there's a few ways. So you're either offering it mixed with water over the statue or yantra. You're just putting a powder on the statue or yantra. You are getting the root, holding it in the palm of your hands and allowing the negativity to be drawn out from you and into this particular root. And then you're also ingesting it. So you're taking Nabu Botanical herbs, doing a little prayer and mantra over it, and then taking it in. And these are the ways that you can enhance your Shreem Brzee practice with this divine substance. And we're so grateful to the divine, to Dr. Pillai, to the Siddhas and the goddesses who have made this public, right? Who's made it us aware of the magic that is here, this auspiciousness, when we get to access things that have such a high vibration, we too then get to raise our own vibration, and whether we're holding it and ingesting it or using it in a ceremony, this is a way we interact more with the divine. We get to feel more embodied ourselves. So last question is more about Nabu Botanicals. So what makes this herb different, and can you are there any specials going on? Is there anything that you can tell us about what we can do for to receive this divine substance?
Yeah. So, because of COVID, antioxidants and immune boosters have become like a big thing, right? So when the COVID hit, we marked down our Shreem Brzee, which is our turmeric formula that we have currently available, and we marked it down to $17. It was like a pretty good pretty good cut. And we just left it there as the price because we don't want the price of it to be a hindrance to people being able to take it, being able to have the protection that turmeric can give, particularly in this case as an antioxidant. And I think the other thing that we published a newsletter, I think, on fear and the effects that turmeric has on reducing your fear, because it has a chemical activity in the brain that allows your fear to come down. So that's another thing. We get caught up in fear during this time, and it takes our immune system down. It puts us, makes us more vulnerable to certain diseases. So turmeric is protecting us again, from mind, body, and soul. So the $17 is a special. I'm not sure how long we'll keep it that level, but we wanted to just put it there so that people could have the benefit of using it during this time where it's so much needed.
Absolutely, absolutely. And as you mentioned before, what makes Nabu Botanical Herbs different is, one, they're blessed by Dr. Pillai, who's a living master. And two, you mentioned that there is a special Siddha energizing empowerment around it. Is there anything more you can tell us about that? What makes Nabu Botanicals different?
The only thing is, I don't think there's any other company in the West that's taking sort of the Siddha lineage and knows it so intimately and deeply as Dr. Pillai, since he is a Siddha master himself and an enlightened being. So he really has sort of captured the essence of what the Siddhas do in order to preserve the life force of this herb. And some of this is proprietary, so we don't speak about it so much. But along with the blessings, we have, activations of the herbs so that they maintain, like I said, long after harvesting, they maintain their quality and their immense benefit to you. So.
Fantastic. Well, thank you. We'll take some questions now from chat. So folks, if you have any questions, let us know. And then Beth, is there anything that you want to conclude with?
Well, I think we kind of rounded it out. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's always exciting to talk about turmeric and the goddess.
So Larry is saying, and this is what I remember as well. Thank you, Larry. This is, it was Dr. Pillai's birthday trip, 2018. He had us hold turmeric root in both palms of the hand facing up and chant.
Yeah, good practice.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions, folks? Bhavna is asking, hands powder gets wasted, so we can put the bottle filled with turmeric or in a piece of paper with turmeric powder, chant 108 times, and then consume. Sure, you can do that.
Yeah. The other thing you talked a little bit about, Lakshmi, was the putting turmeric over your statue, your Brzee statue. That will bring her, if you're finding that she's you're not able to connect to her, you don't feel like she's got the power that you want her to have, she loves turmeric. And if you douse her in turmeric, you'll find that she comes back to life for you.
Right. Someone's asking, is it safe to take turmeric with aspirin?
I don't know of any interactions between those two, but I'm not a doctor. Mm-hmm. So just maybe look it up, just say interactions on Google, interactions, turmeric and aspirin, right. And then that for yourself. The one thing we do, turmeric also can be a little bit hard on the stomach. So what we've done, which has increased also its bioavailability, is we've put some black pepper in it. And that not only increases the bioavailability, but also brings that aspect of turmeric to be, to give you a little bit of an uncomfortable stomach. It allows that that doesn't happen when you put that.
Right. Yeah, so someone is also asking if I can draw the Shreem Brzee yantra using turmeric powder. Yeah, that's fantastic. James is saying, I heard that turmeric won't absorb into your system until you ingest it with some kind of fat.
Yeah. So that's most herbs, honestly, not just turmeric, but it's true. So fat, like, you could take it with a little coconut oil. Anything that has a lot of fat will make it go all that faster. Coconut oil, or, like anything that's got fat, butter, or most things have fat.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, that's 100% correct. In the pepperine that's in the Nabu Botanicals herbs, it's also a patented, protected pepper formula that, not by us, but by a third party. Um, they've patented this formula that they've done clinical trials on. So when we make sure we have that formula, that pepper in our turmeric, so that it's also has increases the bioavailability. So in fat, of course, will make it X times that.
Right. Fantastic. That's good. And I know Dr. Pillai mentioned recently about how when he was younger, his mom would feed him golden milk, which some people have heard of now, which is turmeric mixed with a milk. It could be cow's milk or it could be coconut milk. And then in India, they would use ghee as the added fat substance. And this helped to absorb it into your system. And there's other medicinal properties around that. So yes, there's ways you should and can ingest it with added fats. So what else do we have? Is turmeric high health? There's a question, is turmeric high health the same as Shreem Brzee one? They're totally different. So there's high health and then there's Shreem Brzee formula. So they're two totally different herbs on Nabu Botanicals. So, sure. Any other questions? Looks like that's it. All right. Well, thank you all so much for joining. And yes, you can. Okay, so there's one last person who says, I've been chanting and I have not observed an effect yet. Well, that's a good intro for me to invite you to the workshop tomorrow or Sunday, May 24th. I'm doing a 3-part workshop on how to manifest. And basically, it's going to teach you how to dissolve negative attitudes and your mindset, and then how to manifest and how to sustain that. And then Dr. Pillai will be coming and doing the live stream on May 31st. So I'll be giving the first 3 parts of the workshop, May 24th, 26th, and 28th. Dr. Pillai will come on the 31st, give us an empowerment, and this is all around Shreem Brzee, all around manifestation. So if you've had trouble manifesting, if you're not sure of the techniques to use, come. I'm giving step-by-step of exactly what you can do to be manifesting, taking advantage of this really bizarre time in our lives where we maybe have more time. We certainly have disrupted our different habits and can create something new, something really positive. So you're invited to come. Oh, some more questions coming in. Can we add turmeric to smoothies? Yes.
Yeah.
What is nano turmeric?
I don't know.
Okay.
Nano means small, very,
Right.
very, very small.
The baby turmeric.
Yeah, it means a tiny baby turmeric.
No, I'm sure there's some science out there, but we're not aware of it. So
Yeah, there is. Actually, I don't mean to be like that. It's definitely, there is a nano turmeric out there. I think I've even seen nano turmeric on the market. I don't know if it's any better absorption wise or whatever. I guess that probably is the reason people are drawn to it.
Right. Yeah. And then Prince Kindness is saying, I've noticed mentally from taking your herbs that it promotes positive thinking.
Yes. Thank you. Yep.
Which one is better for cancer? Petronella is asking.
For which
of the Nambu Botanical herbs?
Turmeric. Turmeric is the number one of all herbs to be able to fight off cancer.
Very good. Judy's asking, when you hold the root and chant, what do you do with it afterwards? So Dr. Pillai mentioned you can and Beth, if you have something else, he mentioned that we can keep those herbs, those roots, and on our altar, and then continue to use them. But do you have anything else to add to
that? No, you're right. That I've heard him say that, and you can you can keep them around. You should maybe just keep checking them, usually after a few months,
Yeah.
they have lost their power, and then maybe you want to go uh, put them in your backyard or
Right.
some place that's sacred, some place that people don't walk all over.
Right. Right. Yes, exactly. Okay, people are asking about the workshop. So it's 9 a.m. Pacific time on all of the days, May 24th, 26th, 28th, and May 31st with Dr. Pillai, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and you can do the conversion into your time zone. Can we use the same turmeric every day? Like Beth just said, you can use it for a while, and if it feels like maybe it's drawing in too much negativity, you can release it and take a new one. If you're using it for worship or like putting it over the gods or goddesses, again, same thing. You can do it a few times and then release it and put something new in. All right, so we've covered all of our questions. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you, Beth, Nabu, for being here and shedding some light on this amazing topic. And I'm even more excited about using and honoring and using the turmeric for worship now that we've had this conversation.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.